Alright, the question I'll be answering today is League of Legends worth playing, especially in 2025? I think lots or nearly everybody that plays games has heard of League of Legends. It's been around for, I think over, it might be a decade. It's definitely over that. It's a free game, so that also spreads it around a lot more, and it's just infamous for a lot of things, basically. But the question is it worth playing? Um, if you've never heard of League of Legends before, um, it's essentially a 5v5 game where two players, or not players, teams try to destroy each other's base. Essentially a nexus, which is the base, and if you destroy that, you win the game. You're able to pick champions. There is like over 160 champions, I think. There's three lanes and I guess a jungle area where you can go into in the select role, I guess. You fight, you farm, you die, you get angry or not, and you just keep going until you win or you lose. League of Legends is actually quite a strategic game, and it requires a lot of skill that's not really from other games. Obviously, there are the MOBAs, especially Dota 2, which is, I guess, there's kind of like a rivalry between them, but they were basically from the same game anyway, so that doesn't even matter. But yeah, it's very strategic, and you can't really have skills passed on into League of Legends unless you played a similar game like Dota 2 or another MOBA. So why do people even play this game? I mean, there's select few reasons. Some people just don't buy games regularly, and it's free. So there's no such thing as pay to win. Obviously, you have to earn an in-game currency to unlock characters, but that currency is actually earned for free also. So if you just play, you can get whatever character you want. If you want to get all the characters, that's going to take a bit longer. But I mean, it's up to you at the end of the day. Just buy the characters you want. You don't have to unlock anything. And from I actually don't think there's anything that's pay to win. Some people would argue the skins. Um, I I think there's a Blitzcrank skin where it makes it so his hook is like less detectable. But at the end of the day, there's nothing really pay to win in the game, and it's all based on you and your team essentially. Another reason, there's regular updates, new champions, as you can obviously see by how many there are. New events, different patches, skins, game modes, which is something they're working on. But they haven't been the best, and they know that, so they're trying to update that. But yeah, there are a lot of things they're working on, and for me personally, something I like to watch is the esports. There's many different parts of it. The most popular part is worlds, and then it goes the different regions, little tournaments like LCK and all that. Esports World Cup has come around. It's not as popular, but I think year by year it will become as popular as possibly Worlds. Obviously, Esports World Cup isn't just League of Legends; it's for multiple games, but you know what I mean. And I guess if you're into the lore side of things, it's huge. They have an MMO on the way, and I'd say there's enough lore to cover however many expansions for an MMO you want. Um, so let's say you're interested in getting into League. It's not as easy as people may think, or not. I feel like it's quite the same as coming into a fighting game, where let's say you haven't played any fighting games and you want to get into something like Street Fighter, very very mechanical, and you need great execution if you want to become a high ranked player, or something like Tekken, where obviously I personally think Tekken is the hardest um, fighting game right now, and obviously you need execution for that, but also like game sense. You're playing a 3D fighting game instead of a 2D one, and there's just a lot to learn, and that's the same with League. You're coming into possibly you're coming into a different genre of games. I wouldn't say niche considering how League is very popular, but you know, it's a different space from mainstream stuff. It's like FPS games and stuff like that. You aim in terms of you moving your mouse in a 3D game. It just doesn't matter. It's a different, like landing skill shots and stuff like that, and there's just a lot of things to learn. As a first player experience, you're not going to have as much fun as you think, since it's very complicated. People like to say the community can be very toxic, and that's one thing that it's infamous for, but let's not act like many other games aren't toxic. There's a reason League of Legends doesn't have voice chat, and I think that's for a good reason. I mean, I don't know if they ever will add voice chat, but they're aware that people want it, and they're aware that they could add it into the game. I mean, depending on how you're coming into the game with friends or not, if you solo queue, learning it is also just gonna become harder, since you're by yourself in a complicated game. And also, learning it through solo queue would be hard, because games typically can take up to 40 minutes. I've had games that go up to an hour. That's the most I've gone. But it depends on, I'd say it depends on how good the teams are, because once you get into higher elo, obviously they become shorter, because people know how to end games faster, use leads to their advantage, and stuff like that. But I'm here to tell you why you should try it. So essentially, if you like competitive games, and if that's what you've played in the past, or if you want to get into competitive games, then I'd say it's definitely for you, because this is one of the most competitive games right now and in the past. You like mastering mechanics, complicated characters, and just like moments that are, I guess you could say, very hype. I didn't really want to, but yeah. If you don't like rage-inducing games, and you're not exactly patient, you don't want to wait long matches, maybe you don't have that much time to play games, I just don't think it's worth getting into, because it's something that you need to put time into, and one game of League could possibly take up an hour of time, and then you lose, and then that might be all your free time. You come from Arcane, maybe there's stuff you won't like. Jinx, okay, so even though Jinx is quite a popular character in League, but they're not going to be at the front. Neither is Vi, neither is Jinx. I mean, not Jinx. Neither is Caitlyn. Caitlyn, obviously very popular character, but it's characters like Ari and stuff like that that are at the front, and Ezreal and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's gonna be your type of thing. If you've come from Arcane, it's just gonna be very different. So honestly, I personally think League is worth playing in 2025, but just know what you're getting into. Don't be surprised when things happen, and there have been warnings. I guess you shouldn't really need to have warnings. It should just be a good game, but you know what I mean, like the community being toxic and stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically it. If you are going to play League of Legends for the first time in 2025, I guess you can comment down below. But yeah, that's about it.